What's up guys, JB here with iKoniKmodz, and in today's video we're going to be reviewing an oldie but goodie. This is the Phanteks Evolv ITX case, but with a twist. Stay tuned. Welcome back. So as you can see, this is the Phanteks Evolv ITX case, but there's been a few changes. This is the new edition with the revision of the tempered glass. So yeah, this one got a little bit of an upgrade. Let's just go over the general specs of the case to see what the differences are. So looking at the overall look of the case, everything seems to be the same except for the tempered glass side panel. There's still an aluminum front, top, and back panel. With small ventilations along the sides here as well as along the back in case you decide to do a push-pull config. As I said, the most notable difference right now visually is the tempered glass side panel, which this particular side panel is not smoked or tinted in any way. It's got a little twinge to it for the most part, but it allows for great RGB and visuals through the side panel to give you that fantastic aesthetic look while it's sitting on top of your desk, because you know that's where you're going to put it. So let's take the side panel off and see if there's any more changes on the inside. The side panel, as you can see, is held on by 4 screws, thumb screws, that have a rubber backing to protect the side panel from being scratched. Now, the side panel sits on top of 4 rubber inserts that go into the panel itself. As you can see, when you remove the thumb screws, the panel does not fall, which is good because the last thing you want to do is break your glass after you just got it. So let's carefully take this off and set it aside so we don't break it. Now, the side panel's off. Let's take a look inside. The first thing I note is that everything internally looks the exact same as on the original case. The one thing I can say that I noticed personally that's different is the inclusion of a 140 millimeter rear fan, which happens to have white fan blades. I'm not a big fan of this, particularly because of the fact the overall aesthetic of the case is completely black. So I would have liked to have seen a fully black fan included. However, I am glad to see that they actually included a rear exhaust fan because it wasn't included on the original case. Swinging it around to the back, we can clearly see that the PCI slots, again, are still white, just like they were in the original case, which to me, again, didn't make sense with the case being completely black aesthetically. So I would have liked to see those black as well, just to keep with the overall aesthetic. But it really doesn't matter because once you put a GPU in, you remove those anyway. So swinging it back around to the front, we can see that there are still 2 intake slots on the front for airflow. However, one thing Phanteks did not address was the poor air circulation and intake from the front as well as from the top. There's not much air circulation through there because of the design of the case. However, I'll drop some links in the description below of a company that I know of that has a solution for this for you. So if you're not handy with a Dremel, they got you covered. So let's move on. There's still 2 3.0 USB ports on the front, a headphone jack as well as a microphone input, a reset button, and along the top there's your power button, which is now LED lit. Down here in the front, the original LED used to be white. This is something that Phanteks did address. They've decided to go ahead and make this RGB, which is great because now you can make the light on the front match the aesthetic of your case, whatever your theme may be. So let's swing the case around to the back and we'll remove this back panel and have a look around the back side. Now, from what I can tell just by the overall look from the front, it doesn't look like Phanteks has changed much about this part of the case, which looking at it this way, no, they haven't. There's still a 2.5 SSD sled here in the back. You still have your rubber grommets for feeding your cables through the front. You still have your 3.5 tray down here, which is also removable. So you can take that out. They also have a mount that you can purchase and put inside to mount your water pump for your custom loop if you decide to choose to put one in there. Along the bottom, you can see that there's a dust filter with plenty of airflow for your PSU, so that way you don't have to worry about it. So removing one of the 3.5 caddies, if I can get it out, here we go, is your accessories box. This is something, again, I wish Phanteks would have addressed. In the more premium cases, they offer a plastic casing with all your screws and all that. And here's just a cardboard box with a baggie and thumb screws and all that stuff and some zip ties. Nothing fancy, but you know, it's just something thrown in there. But it gets the job done if you need to. Now, swinging it back around the front, let's remove the front panel because I think it's something in here that they might have changed from the original case. So that snaps right off right there. As you see, there's still a full frontal cover dust filter here to help you with that. So that way you don't have to worry about your system getting all clogged up with dust, which is easily removable as well. All right, exactly what I thought. So on the original case, there used to be a 200mm fan here mounted in the front that was included with the case. Now, I think Phanteks thought that optioning to put the 140mm in the back should negate the 200mm that was in the front. Personally, with the tempered side glass panel and an increase in price because of the tempered side glass panel, and with a little bit of a premium, I would have personally felt it better if they had included both fans. Rather than taking the exhaust fan out, I would have kept the front fan or included both. That's just my personal preference. But, you know, to save money, I understand that the front fan is pretty pricey. Those fans run, if I'm not mistaken, about 20 or 25 bucks. So I can understand why they did it, but I would have liked to see both included. Other than that, for the most part, from what I can tell, the case is exactly how the original was. So except for, like I said, the addition of the tempered side glass panel. So if you are like me and you're going to be building a custom system and you're going to have RGB lighting in it or a custom loop or whatever the case may be, and you really want to see those internals, tempered glass is definitely the way to go. So that about wraps it up for this particular video. And I'll drop some links in the description below for my fellows over at iKoniKmodz. They've done some pretty awesome stuff with the top and front panels of this particular case, and all of the Phanteks cases for that matter. Not only will it bump up your aesthetics on your case, it'll definitely drop those temps because the airflow gets maximized with their stuff. Anyway, don't forget to check me out on some future videos that I got coming up real soon, because I'm going to be doing some pretty interesting stuff with this particular case that you're not going to want to miss. So again, I'm JB with iKoniKmodz. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and definitely tap that bell on your way out. And I'll see you in the next one.